I'm facing a dilemma about attending my son's wedding. He's 36 years old, and he's remarrying just 6 months after divorcing his first wife. His new partner is his former mistress, a 44-year-old woman. To provide some context, my son and his ex-wife, whom we'll refer to as Lindsay, started dating during their high school freshman years. They got married when they were 26 and were married for 10 years. I loved Lindsay. She was so amazing and sweet. My son is a surgeon and she always supported him. My son divorced his wife 6 months ago. He was cheating on her with another woman named Kimberly. I found out when I visited my son's house, and I saw Kimberly leaving his house. I told my husband, but it turned out he always knew about the affair. I asked him why he didn't tell me, and he said it wasn't his business and it's not his secret to tell. He said this was their marriage, not ours, and they needed to figure it out. I told Lindsay about the affair, and when Lindsay confronted him, my son told her he wanted a divorce. They divorced, and my son and Kimberly got engaged. Their wedding is in 2 weeks, and I was invited, but I don't know if I want to go. Lindsay was very heartbroken over the affair. She was sad and cried for a long time, and I don't know if she has moved on yet. I'm still upset that my husband didn't tell me, and I told my son I don't know if I want to attend his wedding. And he replied, "If you don't want to support your son, then don't." My husband is attending the wedding. I told him I didn't want him to, but he said, "I'm going to my son's wedding. I don't like that he cheated, but it happened, and there isn't anything we can do about it. It's best to move on. What should I do? TLDR, my 58F son, 36M, is getting remarried, and I don't know I want to go to the wedding." Shift Life told me in the comments, if your son has decided he's ready to move on from his wife and marry his mistress, that's his business. He doesn't get to decide that you are also ready to move on. You have clearly built a relationship with your daughter-in-law that exists outside her marriage relationship with your son. He may feel that the women he chooses for his wife are interchangeable, but you don't feel the same about your daughter-in-law. Lindsay was a member of your family. Your feelings for her don't turn off just because your son decided to end his marriage. Your son is free to do whatever he wants, divorce his wife, marry his mistress, whatever. But he has to accept that your feelings are valid as well, that you are not ready to move on as quickly as he is. If your son is in a hurry to get married now, accepting that members of his family are not ready to support him is just reality. Dragon in the comments asked, "Why are all the men in your family so blasé about this?" Tacy28 replied, "'Cause it's the norm for them, I'd say. And they never tell 'cause of some bro code. Which makes me think the surgeon has done it before and just didn't get caught. And that dad not only thinks this behavior is okay, but that he's strayed in the past, or has been around male friends and relatives that have. I get that the OP is super upset for her de facto daughter-in-law, especially since the wedding is so quickly on the heels of the divorce. OP, if you don't want to support this union, I think it would be disingenuous to attend. Why don't you take Lindsay on a day out on that day to celebrate your beautiful friendship and divert your attention from all the shit that's happened? I wish you all the best. Please take your time to grieve this loss of your expectations and dreams as well." This next comment I liked. OP, no offense, but your husband and son sound like real pieces of work. Ex-wife has been in your lives for 20 years since high school. Your husband didn't even have the decency to at least tell you that he knew your son was cheating on her. In fact, doesn't seem bothered at all by cheating or lack of morals in his own son. I think that is very telling about your husband and would make me question his own morals and trust. Your son is an AH. I think going to the wedding is completely up to you, as long as you are prepared for whatever fallout that causes. I personally would support the ex-daughter-in-law. Son cheated and got engaged 6 months after the divorce. He clearly doesn't give AF about anyone but himself. I would already be distancing myself from son and AP and can't imagine wanting to be around them even after they are married. Admittedly, I keep my circle small and don't hesitate to cut people off. So take what I say with a big grain of salt.